Hello everyone, Indigo Twin here with your weekly Divine Partnership reading. Hope everyone is well and we've had a good week so far. I know we've had to deal with a lot of energies and there is still some energies going around, and I'll get into that a little bit sooner. But I'd just like to thank everyone for subscribing to the channel, for your likes, for your comments, for supporting this channel, uh, donations, booking readings. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I love what I do. And if I can help divine partnerships across the globe, then this is why I'm here and this is why I love doing this. So thank you all so much. For those of you who are just joining me, I'll just quickly explain the format of my readings before we move on to the actual reading. So across here, we look at sort of the past. So in other words, the energies that we're bringing in from the previous week coming into this week. And this is focused around specifically the complete partnership between the masculine and the feminine and the overall energies for the week. And these cards usually represent the week ahead and sort of what energies we're bringing into the week. Now we have the divine masculine, the partnership, and the feminine on this side, and a few other key cards as we go along. So let's begin the reading this week. I'm going to focus in straight up here to the masculine, because we have the set card. This card was actually the card at the end of the masculine's reading last week, where we were looking at the masculine. This kind of, well, the card itself suggests delays and opposition, but it also is it's kind of like a bit, if you know Saturn in astrology, it kind of puts things a little bit out of kilter. And this is what the Set card does. Now, Set in Egyptian tradition is the Prince of Darkness. He's actually the enemy of Osiris and Horus. And of course, Osiris being the divine, the divine god he is, and Horus being his son. So he was an enemy. So what we're suggesting here is, coming off the energies from last week, that spiritually this card also is a good thing, because it carries, talks about burdens and constraints and the ego and learning lessons in life. So it's a good thing in a way that it's actually come up and it's coming off the same energies from last week, because those energies are still abound within the masculine. So he's really sort of looking at, as we can recall, there was a lot of things that he was in some gentle energy, but then he was coming into this ego energy. So it was quite a polarity for the masculine in the past week. And you may have noticed that with within your partnerships, within the divine masculine areas of life. It's really also another thing I might note here is that, yes, this is a divine masculine, but could also be the masculine balance within the feminine, so the yang part of the yin. So it's also can suggest that there is some balance that the feminines need to take in their masculine energies. In other words, come back to the more yin energy rather than the more yang energy. So what does this mean for the masculines coming into this? Well, as I said, it's about mastering ego. Primarily, that's what this is. So coming off from this week, yes, we're still looking at a few small minor delays in doing that. Now, again, and I don't really like going into politics. However, there is a big event happening, of course, coming up soon, and that is the inauguration of the US president. Now, look, whether you like the president-elect or not, what I've got from Spirit this week is that in many ways we often talk about divine timing, divine planning, and things like that. Now, if we stop to think about it, think about what the US president-elect represents. Think of the character. Think of those things. Very strong masculine energies, very old template. So in many ways, this could actually be a good thing for our divine masculines, because when you've got such a high authority figure, I mean, someone who's very prominent in the world, in their behaviors and things like that, it's someone that masculines would look and go, oh, no, I really don't want to be like that. That's not a man, that's, or things like that. So it could suggest that in some ways that's kind of will help the masculine actually change the old masculine templates. So just think about that one for a moment. It's a possibility. Look, I'm just putting out there what I'm guided to put out to the world and anyone listening to this. So it is mastering of ego, and perhaps it could be in that respect that, what we expect might occur may not necessarily be so. It could be a complete shift, but there is still a few dark energies around, particularly around masculine. So let's move on to see how the masculine is going to get out of these ego energies, and whether he's able to actually master those ego energies. And the answer to that lies in the Thoth card. Okay, so the Thoth card, for those of you don't know much about it, it's the Catechus. The Thoth is the Lord of Time. He's the keeper of the Akashic records, and he's also the scribe to the gods, and he's the patron of healers. So it's a very largely healing card. So the masculine, once they've sort of looked at these masculine energies that are around, will actually start to come into a place of healing. And that's a great thing. So it's a healing of the soul. It's the intertwining serpent that represents twin union. It's Kundalini balance. So this bodes well for the masculine energies this week. So it may come off with a little bit of a rocky start. However, as we move into the week, I get a strong sense, and Spirit is saying that the masculines will start to maintain that balance. And again, as I mentioned earlier, it could be that the feminine also are able to master their masculine energies and start to have that nice yin-yang balance, which is, of course, what the twin unions, divine partnerships are all about, that unconditional love, that balance between yin-yang. Because the masculine is being protected. Divine is looking down and protecting the masculine from going into that ego. It's there. Anubis is all about protection. Anubis is the hunting dog. He's the protector and the guardian. He's also the divine jester. So there's diplomacy, there's humour. So there is motion and movement and action on the way, and protection. There is guidance through difficulties. So we've got healing and we've got guidance and protection, which is a really great thing for the masculine energies of this up and coming week. Now, I'm going to move. That's probably about all, unless I sort of refer back to it, this is probably about all that I really would like to say about the masculine energies for now. If you're a masculine energy listening to this today, it really is all about healing and mastering that ego. So that's the work that the masculine needs to do in this coming week. So really mastering that ego, changing the old masculine templates. Moving on to the feminine. Great cards here, feminine energies. We've got the twins. So we are. The work that we've been doing, and this was, as I mentioned last week, the feminines had to hold the space, had to somehow be empowered, not so much that they went into their yang energy, but to really come into their yin feminine energy. So here we have the twin card, suggesting that the feminine, divine feminine, is coming into a balance, represented by the twins card. She's all about love. She's all about life force, unconditional love, with the Ankh card coming up here as well. This is the key to life, the key to love. She's really becoming very balanced. So well done, feminines. This is great news because there's a lot of balance here. So keep up the fabulous work. that you've been doing. And there's another part of this also, because I'm getting the winged disc at the end, which is success. So whatever the feminines are doing, whatever ventures they're going into, whether they're going more into their healing, whether they're getting out there and really doing work for the feminine collective, this is where this past week has really been, because it's really, in a sense, it's up to the feminine, divine feminine, to actually do this work, to maintain this balance, to keep the thing. We're not looking at a 3D relationship. Okay, the word that just came straight to me was impossible right now. Okay, because there's still work to do. So, in other words, do not think that it's the 3D relationship that's the focus, because we still have this feminine collective energies that we really need to bring about strongly, because this is what will bring the divine masculine closer to the divine feminine. So really continue with this beautiful work that you have been doing in these past few weeks, because it is there. Keep doing that. And I know it's probably, there's a lot of people out there who are very anxious to get into 3D partnerships. And that is fine. And yes, we quite easily can find soulmates where we can get into a 3D partnership, and all would be great. But if it is this twin divine union, that it's what your focus is, then this is where we need to have a sense of patience, have a sense of trust in the divine timing, the divine plans, because there will be success. Hold this space for your divine masculine. Choose the key to love. You have the power within you to do that. Really take in a lot of the yin energies. There is success. There is success for the feminines as long as that work is done. Now, let's move into the divine partnership. So we've got a few things here. Number one, we have the Ta card, which of course is card number 8. It is the architect of the universe and the patron of men. So interestingly enough, that the patron of men card should actually come up in the partnership. Okay, this is all about these old templates. This is the masculine finding his way and creating a new masculine template. This is what this is. This is what the masculine is fighting. Okay, we don't want to be the old masculine templates in order to come into union. So this is where they're looking at, and they've got a lot of guidance, not just from the feminine, but divine guidance to help push them through and to create the divine templates of union and mission. This is what this card represents. Because moving down, we've actually got Cyrus card, and Cyrus, again, is one of my favorite cards, because it represents universal awareness. It's adventure. It's pioneering. It's beginning. This is the start of the new relationship. Divine partnership energies are here. It's pioneering. Yes, we've talked about twin flame unions, first waves and second waves, and I won't go completely into that, because this is generally a reading for any form of divine partnership, not just twin flame partnerships. So what are we going to get with this Cyrus energies? What does it mean for the divine partnership? Well, the energies are blessed. The divine partnership is blessed with these Syrian energies. It is part of a deprogramming of the brain of limiting beliefs. So it is a new paradigm shift in as far as unconditional love relationships go. It is an opening and expansion of the mind to incorporate these new divine masculine feminine templates into union. Fantastic card. What do we get from there? We do still have some growth with sacrifice suggested by the buckle of Isis. However, it's interesting because this is such a strong masculine card and yet this is such a strong feminine card. So there's a lot of balance going on here in the divine partnership. So this suggests fertility and growth, reflecting on emotions in life and understanding how to figure out to bring things into the light of day. And what materially can we sacrifice in order to come into divine union? This is what this card is. So it's really looking at those specific aspects. What can we do? How do we nurture these things to bring in this union? So overall, it's actually not too bad of a reading, a spread. It's probably better than last week's in some ways, but it means that we're moving and shaking and moving along to things. So let's go down to the 5D level of what the masculine is projecting towards the union and his feminine counterpart. There's peace. Beautiful. It's lotus. Lotus represents peace, harmony. It's about continuity, placidity. Lotus embodies peace of mind wherever it falls. So it's coming to terms with one specific role in life. So it's a great card to be coming in for the masculine who's going through this healing and coming through it with peace. So on the 5D level, he's there. He's there. He's wanting to move this forward. It's the 3D level that he's still having struggles with. So yeah, the lotus is releasing life's tensions, moving in towards the union. Now what is the feminine on the 5D level? What is she projecting towards the actual union? Hatha, the mirror. A great balance card. So Hatha, of course, is the goddess energies. So she's projecting goddess energies towards the union, towards her masculine counterpart. She's the goddess of beauty and love and strength. She is the patroness of women. It's a perfect card. It talks about nourishment and femininity. It's confidence. It's spiritual strength. By connecting with the God force. It is also on a feminine side of things is coming to terms with their own feminine and masculine. So this is great for the feminine because we're coming into some really, really balanced energies. The masculine isn't quite there because he's still tipped to the masculine paradigms. However, the feminine is really coming into her strong feminine goddess energy, which is really fabulous. Keep that energy going because this is what will create the union. Now, the outcome for the union this week is Earth. Grounded. Things are grounding. The relationship. So what we're going from here with the Syrian energies, which are very much in the higher realms, are actually coming down to earth. It talks about practicality, and interestingly enough, we have this, what we need to let go materially in order to come into partnership. So there is a sense of grounding. It's putting back. It's knowing, it's the old soul knowing where they came from, knowing about the beauties of the earth and bringing them back in there. It is about all things that grow, and it does suggest possessions. So again, that strongly relates to this, what can we let go materially in order to come into this union? So there are the energies that are actually abound this week. So I'm just going to go and get a card again because I've been drawn to pull another card. I'll just pop that around because that kind of more or less belongs down here, because the question I was looking at saying is, where are we going with these energies? Now, of course, you may remember last week we actually had Uraeus, and it's wisdom, honesty. It's also about the careful, wise handlings. This is why this card's come up, because it is strongly suggesting that we still need to be cautious. We still need to be cautious with the energies that are abound. So for the feminine, no outward strong yang masculine energies towards your masculine counterpart. That's the strong recommendation by Uraeus. Remember, you still can go off, and again, the serpent is not looking towards the union or the masculine. She's looking outwards. She's looking about what else can actually be changed in order for divine unions and mission to be accomplished. So be careful again with this one, because many blessings can come to you, but you just have to use those blessings carefully and wisely. I think that is about it. This is really, again, and I know, no, really, that is kind of, that's all there is to say about this upcoming week. That's it. They said no, that's it. Be understanding. Be compassionate. Practice unconditional love. Practice gratitude every day. Mission is going to be happening. Okay? When we balance all these energies, it will happen. Just let's keep going. I think perhaps at some point in time towards the end of last year, we were all excited about the new year and new and wonderful things happening, that we may have got a little bit complacent. So we've not stepped back per se. It's more or less that we've kind of just been a little bit complacent. But that's all. That's all. Look, all in divine timing. Trust. Have faith and trust. It is coming. It is coming. So, Lady Isis, what healing would you like for us to be doing in this up and coming week in order to balance these yin-yang, masculine, feminine energies and to overcome any issues that may come up in this coming week? What healing would you like for us to be doing for this up and coming week? Okay. Okay. So 3 cards just fell out. I have the High Priestess with the mysteries revealed in the eyes of Isis, the Goddess of 10,000 names, and life restored. I do believe we've previously had the Goddess of 10,000 names. So it is in one of the other, probably one in December. Now, Isis, Goddess of light and love, who loves us unconditionally, what is the most relevant healing process for us to be doing in this week? She's come up. The Goddess of 10,000 names with life restored. Okay. I'm going to do the life restored, but I will read just the small parts of these 3 cards right now. So we've got life restored. We have the High Priestess. And we also have the Goddess of 10,000 names. So just bear with me. Let's have a look. Let's just read the initial energies of the High Priestess. The mysteries revealed in the eyes of Isis. Beloved Isis gazes upon you now, and behind her vast eyes mysteries are unveiled. A new clarity around your direction is unfolding. Be willing to wait for the full reveal, but also recognize what is happening at this time. You'll be gaining valuable insight into where you are being led and for what purpose. It is an exciting moment in your unfoldment. Have reverence and an open heart and mind, and wait patiently for the grand revelation that is on its way. That is a really good message. That's a very strong message. Now, moving on to the life restored. Spiritual resurrection is gifted to you now. Whatever part of your life you thought to be dead is being revived and will flourish back into life, just as the phoenix rises from the fire, transitioning from death into life. So too will you rise again, healed and renewed. And the goddess of 1,000 names, Isis is with many names, forms, associations, and expressions, is referred to as the goddess of 10,000 names. A name holds power. It defines and energizes or limits. The name, faces, and roles that you play are just one part of your being, yet you exist beyond them. Beloved initiate, as a vast being, you are currently realizing that you are not limited by previous identities you held. Instead, you are becoming more of your whole self. Enjoy the uncovering of even more of you. Okay. They're guiding me to go with the High Priestess for the healing, because it's the feminine healing energies that is most relevant in order to maintain this beautiful balance. So we're going to go with the healing ritual of the High Priestess. So just what you'll need for this process, you'll need either a white veil and a candle as well, or like a pashmina, something like that. So a white candle and a pashmina or a scarf or a shawl that you can use, preferably white in colour that you have. So you'll need to use it to cover your head as a sacred robe. So once you're actually, if you need to pause to go and get your white scarf, shawl or pashmina, please do so. Now place the pashmina or the cloth upon your head like a robe, like a veil, and say, I honour the priestess within and the high priestess Isis that loves me unconditionally. With this veil upon my head, I part the veil between the worlds and enter into the domain of her mystery. Now light the candle and say, within white all colours are contained. In this candle all mysteries can be revealed. I ask to see that which has been concealed, which will serve me in unconditional love. Gifted from Isis, grace as pure as the dove. Now gaze at the candle, and if you are aware of the area that needs more clarity in your life, imagine or intend that you can project it into the flame of the candle, allowing the energy of it to be purified and refined. If you don't know exactly what part of your life needs a reveal, then simply gaze at the flame with an open mind. When you can, just close your eyes and still keep your focus on the flame. Do so for a few moments. Now say, in dream, in thought, direct, in awareness and in bodily sense, I now receive the mystery unveiled. I am not denied any detail. I receive this now with comprehension clear. From Priestess Isis who holds me dear. Now allow your mind to be empty. If you have a thought or impression, take note of it, but don't analyze or fight it. Just trust the reveal will happen as it is best for you. whether it comes clearly during your ritual as a knowing, a vision, a gut instinct or feeling, or whether you receive a dream or an insight in the days or weeks following this ritual. It will come. Now say the following incantation. In dream, in thought, direct, in awareness and bodily sense, I now receive the mystery unveiled. I am not denied any detail. I receive this now with comprehension clear, from Priestess Isis who holds me dear. When you are ready, just open your eyes. Now that is a great healing message for the feminine, because really, and I keep getting this strongly, that the feminine, with their feminine, strong feminine energies, are the ones who are actually helping the masculine master their egos on a 5D level. I must stress that because it's gentle energy. So be gentle with your divine masculine counterpart on the 3D level. Have conversations with them on the 5D. Be vulnerable in the 5D. If there are any concerns, then speak to them. They're always there. Speak directly to the divine. Speak directly to Goddess Isis, Mother Mary. Whoever you feel most comfortable with, there is always somebody there to speak to directly. We are going through a large, tremendous time of change. There's tremendous balance. And in saying that I've been guided to instruct the feminines to don't feel that you actually have to continually do healing, continually do work. It is okay to rest. It is okay to pull back. It is okay to nurture yourself. Most important, self-care is key to getting through these energies. Self-care. Look after oneself, whatever which way you do. If it means just relaxing in a beautiful, peaceful environment or having a bath, just take care of you. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Take light of what's to come. Okay, don't worry. It is in divine hands. And we, as instruments down here in the 3D, are being given the knowledge and the guidance to work through these energies. So I send you my love and blessings for the up and coming week. Thank you again so much. It's been lovely to be here again, and I will see you next time. Thank you again. Bye for now.